Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll show you how to read column centerline diagram of a building. So if you're a civil engineering fresher in your engineering branch, you will learn about top view of the um, column or top view of the beam like that. But when it comes to practical, after completion of your 4 years degree, when you entered into the site, if you are appointed as an engineer, you are going to execute these type of buildings in the site. So before going to execute, you have to know how to read the diagram, drawing. That is the first job for every civil engineer, the basic thing. So this is the sample building I took. So first, I'll show you what are the major elements in this drawing. So this dark color portion is hatched portion or columns. I'll show you. See this dotted line. First I'll show you this rectangle. This rectangular portion which is plain cement concrete. This is the top view of the footings. And next this dotted portion, dotted line is called footing first step, and this is footing second step, and this one is RCC column. Okay, this is the top view of the footing. The size of the column is 530 mm by 600, and size of the footing, RCC footing, is 3.9 meters by 4.3 meters, that is 3900 mm by 4300 mm. So after excavation, for example, if you are planning to construct a small building, first we have to excavate the site. So the entire uh, dimensions of this from this column center line to this column center line is 51.62 meters, and this side, this is the length and this is the width portion. So width portion is 21.62 meters from this column to this column. So we have to excavate this portion, this entire portion from here, not from center line to, from this portion to this portion we have to excavate, and from this portion to this portion we have to excavate. So after excavation, we have to mark the column positions. So not immediately after excavation, first we have to dressing, first we have to do the dressing for the site, because after excavation, the machinery will excavate the site not exactly in the same level. So we have to do the dressing by using manpower. So after dressing completed, I mean, we don't know how much depth we have to excavate. For that, here notes will be written by the designer. The first I'll tell you safe bearing capacity, that is soil safe bearing capacity, the design, the 20 tons per square meter. So for this 20 tons per square meter, designer is mentioned that minimum depth of excavation is 2 meters from the ground level. So he specified and he suggested, according to the safe bearing capacity, we have to excavate 2 meters, minimum 2 meters of the excavation, I mean depth of the excavation. So after that we will do column center line marking. So how? So after dressing completed, already previously I told you, after excavation, after dressing, first we have to mark the PCC from this edge portion. So from this edge portion, here he mentioned about 190 mm. So from here to column center line. So before that we will pour the PCC by using small shuttering, that is 0.15 mm, 0.15 meter thickness. So here I'll show you. See, so this is the PCC portion, this dark line. Okay, exact dimension is 3.5 meter, and this is width of the footing, PCC RCC footing, and 4.3 meters is the length of the RCC footing. So we have to take a little bit extra for the PCC, and after PCC we will do the column center line marking. I'll tell you how to do the column center line marking. So here after PCC we will run a thread from this edge point to, from this edge point, okay, and from this edge point to, and this edge point another thread we will use. So after meeting this point, we will measure. Here he mentioned about 190 mm from this edge portion. this from this edge portion to column center line, we have to measure 190 mm. So after measuring that 190 mm, we will drop a plumb where the two threads meet. So once we will drop a plumb, we will mark the point carefully, and after that, by using right angle, we will take 90 degrees from here, and from here we will mark this 530 mm by 700 mm column size. Like that we will do the column center line marking in an ancient method. But nowadays technology took place, so by using GPS coordinates. So we all now know about the GPS coordinates. So by using latitude and longitudes of this column center line, we will mark the points by using total station. So it is very, I mean, useful, and it is time saving when compared to old method, because um, to execute the old method we need a skilled professionals and skilled persons to do the column center line marking, because this is a very important portion, I mean very important um, time taking process and portion for in buildings, because once the foundation is completed, the column size of the column and the column positions will fixed. Once the column position will fix the entire, for example this is G+2 building, up to second floor the column position will remain the same. So if you do any mistakes in the foundation, automatically there is a huge loss when it comes to first floor and second floor, like that. Okay, and this one, this is the lift portion. These are all the four columns. In between the lift will be there. This is the lift portion. So this is the column center line. Like this you have to read the diagram, column center line diagram. In BTech final year you will learn about center line, center line wall in estimation and costing, but in practical you will see these kind of diagrams. And in the notes the designer mentioned about all the things like minimum depth of the excavation and clear cover, how much clear cover you have to provide, footings, columns, footings 50 mm and columns 40 mm, and slab bottom top 15 mm, and beams bottom straight L bend 150 mm. So he mentioned about the reinforcement details, and he mentioned about the concrete mix also. Footings M25, columns M25. So for footings and columns and beams slabs, he mentioned about M25 concrete. Unless mentioned 53 grade, we have to use another grade. And minimum dia of stirrups to be used is 8 mm. So we have to use stirrups at 8 mm. And lap length also he provide. Lap length means overlap length. So overlap length of the steel we have to provide in beams, that is 50 times lap length he provide, and lap length for the columns he provide is 45 times. So like that we have to carefully read the notes before going to execute the building. I hope you understood this. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching my video.